Hello there YouTube, I'm back with a massive pickups vid. The reason I'm doing this is because I was starting to do kind of retrospective pickup vids, and to me that doesn't really work. It's nice if the pickups are fresh and you've got stories in mind to discuss when you go through the games. And it was just getting a bit silly, so I've waited until this time. I've got probably about 75-ish items ranging from pickups probably as early or as long ago as April all the way through to today, and the date I'm recording this is 28th of October, so nearly November. Loads of stuff to go through, all generations. I'm going to go through them like I usually do the games and things in a chronological order of systems, so if you don't really like the modern stuff you can zone out and switch off when you get to a certain point. Now I'm going to start with one item that isn't gaming related, but it's retro and it's 80s pop. It's an animation cartoon, or based on an animation cartoon. It's actually a vinyl record. Now, when I was a kid, there were, like I can remember, 3 animation cartoon movies that would come on, maybe a bit more, that I would always look forward to. They would come on maybe annually or every couple of years, and it got into the sequence where I couldn't wait for them to come on again. I'm not talking about cartoon series like Transformers or Ulysses 31 or Mysterious Cities Go or anything like that. It's individual movies. One was Lord of the Rings by Rolf Bakshi. I used to love that. Not so good now when you look at it with an adult's set of eyeballs and brain. And the other one was Watership Down, which I still love. Those poor bunnies. Have that on Blu-ray. I used to love watching it. Brilliant story, great characters. Used to love the music, and I used to love the animation style in that. And then there's this one. Who remembers the Animal Olympics? And it would typically come on, as you would expect, before around sort of summertime when the Summer Olympics were coming on. And yeah, I used to love this cartoon. I remember trying to preempt and finding it on the TV guide and making sure I recorded it. So I did have it on video cassette, although I think I remember missing like the first 5 or 10 minutes or something like that because I was too late to the video recorder, but that's how things were back then. But yeah, great soundtrack. I'm going to put one tune on now. But yeah, I used to love the animation style. I think Billy Crystal did a lot of the voices in here, and you've got the guy who was in The Simpsons, I forget his name, he did Mr. Burns and a few other people. And yeah, just a fantastic cartoon. Go and check it out. It's still witty and makes me chuckle now, and like I say, the soundtrack is absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm going to try and get everything on this table. Let's see how we get on. Right, moving on to the games now in chronological order. We've got some Spectrum. Now, some of these games, I've got a feeling maybe 1 or 2 I've already done a pickups video, but I can't quite remember. First of all, we've got IK Plus. I love this on the Specky, and going around with friends and playing this on my Commodore 64. Excellent. And obviously, this guy here is definitely some sort of rip-off of Mr. Seagal. Yeah, definitely looks like him. There's that one. Dynamite Dan. I did pick this up ages ago, but I found it quite glitchy, the tape, and I did find this cheap on eBay, so I picked this one up. Where did I get this one on eBay? I might have got this one down my local retro game shop. A lot of these are going to be from eBay, CEX, charity shops, few Facebook Marketplace, and a few from my local retro video game shop, which I will do a video on. I've spoke to him recently about this, doing that, and he's more than happy to do that, so that's a video coming up. Turrican 2, haven't played this on the Specky, but looking forward to doing so. I've got it on the SNES, or no, not Turrican 2, I've got Turrican 1, Turrican 2 is way too pricey for me at the moment, so yeah, unless I get super rich, I won't be picking that up anytime soon. And this one, Tau Ceti. Now I did a little rummage around and look for, you know, hidden gems and things like that on the Spectrum, and Tau Ceti came up. I can't remember what it's about. I think it's like a space exploration game or a shooter. Might be wrong, but yeah, this one came up quite frequently, so I'm looking forward to giving that one a blast. Well, I'm going to jump onto the 16-bit now. I've got no more 8-bit. I'm going to start with a Super Famicom game, Gamber Gomon 2 for the Super Famicom. This looks great, and the third one looks really good as well. I've got the follow-up as well on the N64, and yeah, look at that cover art as well. Love the Japanese cover art. Always really colourful, sometimes a bit too manic and busy, but yeah, always good designs there. So got that one. And next, for the Mega Drive, when I did my room tour, you saw this game in the room tour. It's the only Mega Drive game I've got and plan on getting. You got to choose your battles. I have very limited memories with the Mega Drive. I played it going around friends' houses, but I was a SNES, Super Nintendo man myself. But it's my favourite game on the system, and I got this from my local retro game shop, and it's in lovely condition. I was keeping an eye out on eBay for this one, but I can never find it at a good price and at the right condition. But this is lovely, all complete, and yeah, this is just kind of a glorified retro gaming ornament. Love this game. So that one. Now these pickups, as I said, go all the way up to yesterday's, the last batch of things that I picked up, and this is one of them. I've just said I don't collect for the Mega Drive, but I picked up a lovely spanking pad, control pad from my local retro game shop, and this is for the Master System because this works with the Master System, and I find this pad's just, you know, 10 times better, much more comfortable, much more responsive than the Master System pad. So pick this up to play some games. Currently trying to get through Ninja Gaiden, and it just feels so much better with that controller. I think that is it for the 16-bit. Now we're going to move on to we've got PS1. I can't remember if I've mentioned this one again. It's Star Gladiator for the PlayStation 1. And again, I've got this, it's a fighting game, 3D fighter. Quite good, quite enjoy it. I do really like the second one, Plasma Sword on the Sega Dreamcast. That plays really well. So there's that one as well. Let's see if I can get everything on this table. Slurp of coffee. Right, we're doing good. Battling through these things. And next we're going to go for the Dreamcast. Now again, in the room tour that I recently did, video, this was a purchase that I've just picked up and hadn't opened, and it's Guilty Gear X for the Dreamcast. Lovely game, love the Guilty Gear series. The graphics are always beautiful, really lovely 2D artwork there, great animation, great pyrotechnics and special moves, really good. And I was hoping this game came with the little disc or strange shaped disc that you could play as a soundtrack. It doesn't come with it, which is a real shame, but it's in glorious condition, straight from Japan. Comes with the spine card. Very pleased with that one. We will do the PlayStation 2 next. There's quite a few here, in no particular order. Manhunt, quite a controversial game. I've got a second one on the Wii. Let's pull these up here. PlayStation 2 ones. Quite a few of them. Summoner, this is a fairly recent pickup, and that was £1.50 in a charity shop. So pleased to get that one. Space Invaders, £1.50 in a charity shop. Who doesn't like Space Invaders? Lots of different versions of the game, and it's kind of got this 3D hub world where you go, you're in a room in an arcade, and then you pick which game you want to go over and play. Yeah, classic. How'd I get that? Couldn't leave that there. It's in lovely condition, all complete. Shadow of Rome. which is a bit of an RPG, I believe. Did I cover this one before in a video? I can't remember. But it was that one, bit of a diamond in the rough. Soul Reaver 2. Love these games. Still to finish Soul Reaver on the Dreamcast. And I do want to pick up Legacy of Kain on the PlayStation, but that price has gone up. But it's still on my list. Max Payne 2. Played this back in the day with my housemate's PlayStation 2. Picked up Max Payne 2 for it. Every now and again I would get a game that I like the look of for a different system that was owned in the house. Again, I've said many times before, guy upstairs owned the original Xbox, I was a GameCube man, and his brother, our other housemate who lived downstairs, had the PlayStation 2. So yeah, played and finished this one. Used to love the sort of bullet time action mechanics in Max Payne, a direct rip-off of Matrix. Not bad games. Alien Hominid. This one seems to be a bit of like a talked about game, a little bit off the radar. But this one I picked up for £1.50 in a charity shop. This was an eBay, was this an eBay purchase? I think this was. Street Fighter EX 3. I do like the Street Fighter franchise. Not particularly great at them, but I love my fighters, but I'm not that great at them. Contra Shattered Soldier. This is another one I picked up and borrowed my mate's PlayStation 2 from said house, the house I previously mentioned. And yeah, I had great fun with this. It's like a 2.5D action shooter, shoot 'em up, left to right and shoot. I really loved the graphic style and what they did with the 2.5 back then. I'm not sure how it will look now, but yeah, I remember finding it really impressive and quite quirky in this day and age of 3D, fully 3D games. Remember being quite tough, but I think we got quite far through it, maybe finished. I can't remember. But yeah, had to pick that one up again. Love the Contra series. Haven't played them all, but I do like them. This one I mentioned before, but it's for some reason in here again. Gregory Horror Show, £1 down a charity shop. Loved finding that, loved it. Now in many of my videos I always blurt on about Dark Souls and Bloodborne and my love for them. I love From Software, the game developer that created these wonderful worlds, and what I've been doing is looking into their back catalogue and just picking bits up here and there, like Kingsfield and Kingsfield 2. Was it 2 or 3 on the PlayStation 2? 4 even. And this one, Eternal Ring, in conjunction with Ubisoft. I think it's an RPG. But yeah, this one I got very, very cheap on eBay. Good price, I was able to pick that one up. Charity shop find. Not a huge racing fan, but I like arcadey races, and this is one, and the Burnout series is very good. I remember playing the Burnout series again in my shared house with the lads. And yeah, lots of drinkies, just playing these and really getting into the crash modes. Brilliant. This one I found down a local charity shop for £1. Never heard of it before. I don't know what it's like. It's probably pants, but it's America's top 10 most wanted. And on this, you go through, I guess, as a sniper or some assassin, and go through and get all these bad guys, including Bin Laden and Saddam Hussein. So yeah, couldn't leave that there for £1. Never seen it before, so I haven't picked that one up. Jump into the GameCube now. Only got 2 games. This one I did pick up before, but it was a bit tatty, and I've picked it up again. This is a much cleaner copy, and yeah, the manual's nice and crisp. Just my OCD was playing up with the GameCube collection. I just want to get that nice and polished, and this is a good arcadey beach volleyball game. Me and my wife got into it, we gave it a blast, and with a couple of glasses of wine, and we really got into it, played quite a few games with it. Good game. And I think I mentioned this one actually as well. Enter the Matrix, the movie, the 4th movie's coming out later this year, and I didn't know if it might affect previous Matrix software and merchandise. So I picked this one up whilst the price was still good. I remember playing and finishing it back in the day when I owned the GameCube. It wasn't great. It was quite buggy and clunky and just seemed a bit off. It just needed more polish, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Like it's 6.5, maybe 7 if I'm feeling particularly brave out of 10 sort of game. There's that one. Now, Xbox. I said again in my room tour vid, I've started picking up some Xbox games, the original Xbox, which I don't like to use that term original, it's just Xbox. Xbox and Microsoft really buggered up their naming for their systems. It's kind of farcical really what they've become with their naming and their structure. But I owned the Xbox when I just got back from my travels in Australia. I plumbed for that one because a lot of the multiplats seemed to play better on that system. So I came back and had a whale of a time with the Xbox. I had a list of games that I wanted to pick up and play for it. And since just picking up a few games for that console, I've added a few more to the list and some's included in here. And like I said, there tend to be Xbox, only on Xbox games, exclusives, that's the word I'm looking for. And a lot of the multi-plats I do already have on either the GameCube, which is my preference, or the PlayStation 2. So anyway, let's get on with it. Jade Empire, fantastic RPG by the guys that brought us Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2. BioWare, love this game, love the ancient Chinese aesthetic to this, and the character development and the special moves that you could learn. Brilliant game. Is that one. Mad Dash Racing, which I picked up in a charity shop, or was it a charity shop? I think it might have been actually, but that was dirt cheap, and apparently that one's quite good. This is one of my all-time favourites on the original Xbox. When this came out, it just blew me away. I absolutely loved this game. I really like my stealth games. I know they're not for everyone, but I absolutely blooming love them. Sneaking around in the shadows, taking people out, hiding them, using all your gadgets, and voiced by Michael Ironside, who's a fantastic actor. There's Sam Fisher, great game. Half-Life 2, played this and finished this back in the day on the original Xbox. And yeah, this was a benchmark game at the time. The physics engine they had crafted in this Valve, unbelievable. You know, you would have the gravity gun and slay all your enemies in crazy different ways with picking any objects up and hurling them at your enemies and just blowing them off buildings and things. And the polish and the graphics at the time for this game, beautiful. Benchmark game. Will we ever get 3? It's a bit of a joke now. I'm not sure if we will, but one can always hope. This is a game we played loads of back in the day as well. Project Gotham Racing 2. A spiritual successor, I believe, by the same team that brought us Metropolis Street Racer on the Dreamcast, which is another game we all really loved. This is an exclusive for the Xbox. Mech Assault. And yeah, don't mind my mech games. I've got Coast to Coast version of this on the PlayStation 2 in it. I love it. It plays so well. Out of all the races, this is definitely one of my top 5, top 10, definitely. Again, I'm not a massive racer, but Outrun 2 is absolutely brilliant. I think it's better than the original, and I think in this you can unlock old music and things like that. But this apparently runs like a dream on the Xbox, so looking forward to giving that a good go. Ninja Gaiden, balls hard. Remember beating it though back in the day. My mate upstairs got it, and yeah, he played it, finished it, said it was bloody hard. Or, no, I don't think he did finish it actually. Said it was bloody hard though. Gave it to me. I've managed to get there, but yeah, there's some very tasty moments in this. They're kind of renowned for their difficulty, the Ninja Gaidens, but you know, you get better through the game, you get more abilities, you learn the patterns, you focus and tweak your fighting skills, and you know, you can overcome the odds. Great boss battles in that one as well, very, very good. Right, next. No, not next. going to stick with the Xbox because this was a purchase I got yesterday. Again, in my room tour vid, I said I haven't got the console yet for the Xbox. Well, you know what's coming? Ta-da! I got it from my local retro video game shop, Paul. Ooh, I'll leave that one. Got it from him for a good price. It came with all the cables, the controller. I do want to get, as the Americans call it, the Duke. We used to call it the Pasty, being a Jana boy down here in the southwest. And it was kind of the dud pad, wasn't it? Blimmin' great thing. It was ridiculous. And why the hell they didn't have this as some kind of home button or something, I don't know on it. I mean, on this it's quite big, but on the original Pasty, as we called it, it was ginormous. And yeah, I'm so glad they reverted to this pad. This is 10 times better, much more comfortable, feels good in the hands. But yeah, the Pasty, that was always the pad that my mate would have for 2-player games. And yeah, the loser would always get to use that horrible, unsightly thing. I'm sure lots of people had those sort of stories with the crappy third-party pads. They would palm those off to your mate, you know, the owner of the controller always play with a good one. And with this as well, it comes soft modded with emulators and other bits. I can't remember, he was going through it, he didn't even know it had a soft mod on there, but we tested it out down the shop and I'm looking forward to giving that a blast. It's got a decent Nintendo emulator on there and loads of games, so I'm looking forward to playing some original Nintendo games on that one. Right, next on, we are getting there, onto the Wee Willy Winky, the Wii, Nintendo Wii. We have got, where am I going to put these things? Skate It. Don't mind my skateboarding games, apparently that was not too bad, and it was only £1 in a charity shop. Another £1 game in a charity shop. Virtual Tennis 2009. Really enjoy my tennis games. Tennis, golf, and a bit of football, and my boxing. Brilliant. What was his name again? Nick from Retro Break. I'll leave a link to his channel down there. I'm sure everyone knows his channel, Retro Break. Seems like a really nice guy, Nick. Loves his Nintendo, loves his Wii, loves his Game Boy, original Game Boy. The original Game Boy's not really anything I'm interested in, but I've got a lot of respect for the Wii, and that'll be coming up in a future video, a Wii collection video. And he mentioned this one as a little bit of a hidden gem. Dewey's Adventure. Don't know too much about it. Picked it up very cheap. It looks like a little puzzle game, puzzle adventure game. Very colourful, very cutesy, very Nintendo. So there's that one. Oh, and this one, Retro Break also brought up on his channel. Let's Tap. Never heard of it before, but this was only a couple of quid. It comes complete with cardboard boxes of all things that you tap along to. I think it's like a multiplayer party-ish kind of experience. Yeah, it says here party experience, party game by Sega. So that would be good when I get some family around, maybe at Christmas, or me and the wife have some wine and play this in an evening, and maybe when my little girl's a bit older we'll play that one also. So there's that one. And yet another game recommended by Nick in one of his Wii videos is Spectro's Origins. Again, started looking at some gameplay footage on YouTube after he mentioned it, and it does look quite good. 3D action adventure, it looks like. Yeah, looks quite good and got really good reviews. The Disney game. This is one I found down the charity shop near my local Asda supermarket where I've got Gregory's. I thought I'm going to pop in again. I picked up one of those Wii games, I can't remember which one, and this one. And yeah, this is apparently a sought after game. Due on the Grudge, £1.50. All complete, all lovely. Horror games do tend to be sought after and collectible. And yeah, I said to the wife about playing this one. She likes her scary games. And obviously with Halloween just around the corner on the weekend, Might give that one a blast soon. Right, and last but by no means least, this was also shown in my room tour video, is one I've been after for quite a while. It's not my favourite Zelda game in the franchise. In fact, it's probably one of my weakest. Great elements to it. The dungeons themselves were really good to explore, but I really wanted this set with a gold Wii remote, and it does come with the orchestra or soundtrack CD for this as well. I did previously have just the limited edition version of the game itself with the CD soundtrack inside, but this was always on the list, and this come up for a nice price. The box is in really nice condition, so I'm very happy with that one. Right, we are running out of space here. On to the Nintendo 3DS. Been blitzing through this, getting some games. Tetris, who doesn't love a bit of Tetris? Luigi's Mansion 2, which I did own when I first got my 3DS, not long after it actually came out originally. I just couldn't get on with it though, so I did sell it again, but because it was so cheap now, I've picked it up. Luigi's Mansion 1 is much better. There was something about this where I think it seemed episodic, where you would always go back to the professor, and it just broke the game up. With the original Luigi's Mansion, you could just go cracking on to each level and just blitzing through the mansion and getting it right into the game. This sort of slowed it down for me. Like my football games, FIFA 15, supposedly quite good. I really wanted a football game to play on the go whenever I go, away anywhere or traveling. Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. Still haven't booted this one up. I'm keen to see how it fares on the system. Apparently it's not bad. It's not as good as the console counterparts, but very good. Like I say, love my tennis games. This one's very good. Good fun. I have played this one. It is good fun. Captain Toad. Finished this one on the Wii U, Treasure Tracker, but got this one for a very good price. I picked it up as well. Yeah, the game on the Wii U was brilliant. Really enjoyed that one. And I've been going through and trying to hoover up a lot of the Tales games, and I've got Tales of the Abyss here for the 3DS. There's that one. Right, that's all for that. We're going to jump onto the PlayStation 3 now. Oh, excuse me. A few in here. Right, going down the charity shop for £1, and it was on my list. I've got a very limited list now for the PlayStation 3, probably 3 or 4 that I'm looking for at the moment. But this was on there, and yeah, lovely to find it for £1 down the charity shop, all complete Star Trek. And apparently for a movie tie-in franchise game, this is very good. So yeah, like my sci-fis. Not a massive Trekkie of new, but I used to love the old William Shatner Star Trek. Used to love watching them. Camp Greatness there, and the Next Generation. I've got fond memories of watching that with my mum at tea time. Dante's Inferno, that was it. That's the one I picked up with Ju-On just the other day down the charity shop. That was £2, I think, this one for the PlayStation 3, but don't really see that one out in the wild much, so I had to pick that one up. Unreal Tournament 3, that was down the charity shop for £1. These are kind of got a cult following, but they're not. I don't think they've got like rave reviews, like a 7 out of 10 sort of games. Kane and Lynch. These were both down the charity shop for £1 each as well. And Kane and Lynch 2. I might have mentioned this one in previous pickups, but here we go again. Conan. This looks like good fun, a good sort of brawler, hack and slash. An RPG, which was sadly a little bit disappointing, but again, 7 out of 10. White Knight Chronicles. But no, it's just something about this one that looks quite good. And again, it's an RPG. I do like my RPGs. It's just having the time to play the blimmin' things now. They're so long to play. And speaking of which, I'm not a huge, well, I like Final Fantasy. I like the idea of it, but I'm not really, I haven't played that many. The only one I have really played and finished was 15 on the PlayStation 4, and I loved it, but I was looking into other games in the series that fans like and recommend, and Final Fantasy 13 comes up quite a bit for the PlayStation 3, and that was cheap as chips, so I've got that one. Racing game that I do really like is Split Second, is it? Is it Split Second? I think so. I'm loving it. Really, really, really enjoying that game on the PlayStation 3. And this is a game they did previously. This is like ATV quads and bikes and things, and it's pure. So if it's anything like Split Second, it's going to be awesome. Lots of polish on it as well. Finally, we're here onto the PlayStation 4. Some of these I might have mentioned in the previous pickups vid, but I do apologise for that. Hellblade, game I'm currently playing, about an hour and a half, 2 hours in. So far, it's not bad. It's not as good as I was hoping it would be. I know it's got a bit of a, quite a following. It's not a very long game. It's an experimental game, and the developers work quite closely with psychologists, and it conveys and is very much to do with mental health and schizophrenia and things like that, without giving too much away. But I'm still learning the plot and the story of the game myself. So there's that one. Stunning graphics on it, and on the PlayStation Pro with HDR and everything, looks beautiful. Spider-Man, got this one from Facebook Marketplace for dirt cheap. I think it was only a £5, and it's practically brand new. I played and finished it. I borrowed it off a friend, my mate Pete, and absolutely loved it. Really, really good game. So much polish. Great to explore Manhattan. Me and the wife went there probably 4 or 5 years ago now, so it was really cool just swinging through, and we looked for where our hotel was roughly. Obviously it's not that accurate with all the buildings exactly the same, but all the boulevards and all the streets are there. Fantastic game, loads of polish. Is it Sucker Punch or Insomniac did that game. Fantastic. Do you like my football games? I don't get the latest FIFA because I always get the one behind, and because it's practically worthless, isn't it, when the new one comes out. So I only got this one for a couple of quid. This is supposed to be better than the next one anyway, 2021. But I get this for me, and there's only 2 friends that when they come around, they always want to play they like their football games, and we've been playing football games together all the way back to like the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. It's just our thing with many beers. Creed Rise to Glory on the VR headset. I haven't even booted this up yet. It's supposed to be good. Really liked the first Creed film, was disappointed by the second one. And Star Wars Squadrons, haven't even booted this one up. This is supposed to be very good for VR. Really like my VR, although I haven't played it for quite a while. Right, God of War, which I didn't own, but I got this on Facebook Marketplace for very cheap. I think it was only £4. But I played and finished it before. Borrowed this off my mate Pete. He buys them brand new, completes it, lends it to me. I don't pay a penny until they're £4 in price. It suits me to a T. Another Final Fantasy game, Final Fantasy X and X2, was it? Yeah, 10-2. Supposed to be quite good. Got this one for the wife, and she's really enjoying it. 2 Point Hospital. It's like a Sims game to do with hospitals, as you would imagine. Building hospitals, curing people, putting in different monies to get certain staff members and equipment to treat certain illnesses. Yeah, quite light-hearted, good fun, quite manic. This one is still sealed. I haven't even opened it yet. I know a good few months ago this was doing the rounds on YouTube, and it did look great, so I had to pick it up. And it's Sayonara Wild Hearts. Very, very short game, but a very relaxing game with great aesthetics and apparently a fantastic soundtrack. And I love my decent soundtracks in games. I'm being boxed in here. Deception 4. Got a little bit of a cult following this series, and this is like a fighting game, but like a battle royale, not a battle royale, but it's a 3D fighter brawler action game But in this, the main hook is that you create and use traps in the environment to take down your enemies. So looking forward to giving that one a go. Looks very Japanese in anime. This one's still sealed. I saw that Geordie Slasher Gaming mentioned this one, and I just loved the look of it. Wasn't particularly expensive, and it's Rock Bosch's DX, and it's got a very 8-bit microcomputer aesthetic, much more so like the Spectrum. So very limited colour palette, but lovely little particle effects, but still very true to the original capabilities, I guess, of the Spectrum. But yeah, lovely, just looks great, and Spectrum's always holds a special place in my heart. This one, me and the wife are going to play tonight with some wine, especially seeing it's coming into Halloween and spooky season. It's a bit of a psychological kind of horror suspense game, this one. So Blair Witch, don't know all that much about it. We saw a few gameplay videos for it on YouTube, and she likes the look of it, so yeah, we're going to give this one a bash tonight. Me and my wife played through this one. It's by David Cage, who did Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls and Detroit Become Human. Fahrenheit that originally came out on the PlayStation 2, and this is the anniversary edition. It's not much of an anniversary edition. I don't think it's really been cleaned up or hugely remastered in that sense, just repackaged, and yeah, it shows its age. We kind of nearly put the game down and gave up on it, me and the wife, a few times, because there's some frustration with the what you got to do with a controller. If you played a David Cage game, you know what I mean. You have this timed QTE kind of button presses and control pad movements, and they can get a bit frustrating, and some of them go on for ages in this. But the story wasn't bad. It was all right. Glad we finished it, but yeah, it's not highly recommended by me. Here we go. Last of Us Part 2. Played and finished this summer, so yeah, a few months ago now. I avoided all spoilers for it. I knew there was a little bit of a hoo-ha going on with regards to reviews for the game. Me and the wife really loved the first one. We started seeing each other around the time that came out, and for my birthday she picked that one up and we played through it. She enjoyed doing the bits where Joel and Ellie would go around and just loot, you know, the quarter moments, the story moments, and then as soon as any of the clickers or any of the baddies come onto the scene, she'd hand me the controller and I'd do a lot of the fighting. But we really enjoyed the first one. And this one, I don't want to give any spoilers away just in case there's a few people out there that haven't played it, but there's a bit in it that we were just like, it's fairly near the beginning, and our heart sort of sank, we'll just say that much. It sort of throws you a bit of a doozy. But in retrospect, I'd give this a 7 out of 10. My wife gave it like a 6.5 out of 10. It does go on a bit too long. It does sort of overstay its welcome. I can't really say too much more about the story. I won't say anything in case anyone hasn't played it yet, because it's a very story-driven game. But loads of polish on it. It looks stunning. The motion capture on from the actors and the character models in this, you know, you see the emotion and exactly how the character's feeling, rather than them having to speak about it. You can just see the nuance, and that's something that Naughty Dog definitely deserves credit for. I won't say any more about that game, but yeah, 7 out of 10 for me, and that's as high as I'll go. This is one that I'm going to play. This is probably coming up very soon on my list to play for the PlayStation 4, and it's Borderlands 3. Like the first one, thought the first one was alright. Loved the art style, loved the humour and the characters. But the second one was fantastic, and this is supposed to be very good as well. Loads of guns, Claptrap, the annoying little comic relief robot in it. Really witty in places, and yeah, looking forward to playing that one. Samurai Showdown, I think I might have mentioned this. This is brilliant. Really, really, really good fighter for the PlayStation 4. Not a load of fighters, not a load of content, but the fighting's glorious. The aesthetics are really, really good. It's kind of a 2D fighter, but the graphics and the art style is fantastic. Love the Samurai Showdown games in the arcade, the Neo Geo. I've got the Neo Geo Mini downstairs connected to our dining room TV. So yeah, really recommend that one if you're a fighting fan. This is a game I'm going to play this winter. It just seems like a winter game to me. It's Death Stranding by Hideo Kojima. His first solo game since leaving Konami and being making his own studio and being picked up by Sony. It's got its followers. Basically, you're a glorified postman of the future delivering packages. I haven't looked too much into it because I do want to go into this kind of spoiler free. I know there's going to have a great imaginative sci-fi aesthetic and story. It's got a lot of famous actors in here and motion capture. I know Kojima's games can be very pretentious and some of them do wind me up a little bit. He does crawl up his backside a little bit, to me anyway, but I'm always interested in what the guy's doing. He's definitely a great game designer and maker, and at least he's bringing out original content. And I think that's the thing with a lot of video games. It's becoming like the movie, the Hollywood scene, isn't it, where things tend to be remakes, remasters, sequels, and if a particular game does very well, then other games just follow that particular suit, and it's just a shame, you know. And that's why I'm a collector and a lover of retro games from the past. People took chances back then. I know there's a strong indie scene. Don't want to go into this too much for the current consoles, but yeah, I just wish some AAA studios would take some risks and just give us something we haven't seen before, experimental games. But anyway, that's a video in itself. And finally, the last game for the PlayStation 4. This was shown in my video game room tour, and I've been looking for this for ages. Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, collector's special edition, beautiful big box. I'm not going to open this up, but it comes with some special coins, a map, a scroll, an art book there. I've got nowhere to put it up there. The game, obviously, with a steel book and statue figurine of the protagonist that you play in that, the wolf, aka Sekiro. And in the video, my room tour video, I was getting near the end of the game, and I've actually finished it now. And my God, the bosses in this are, again, it's from software. It's like Dark Souls. It's try and try again. But in this, I didn't find the actual game as difficult as some of the Dark Souls or Bloodborne games. But the bosses and some of the mini bosses in this are tough as nuts. And the final boss on this game, the end true boss, he gave me, I had to fight him many times, but each time you fight him, you start learning a bit more about the fight. You're looking for little ways you can't even cheese this guy as well. You've just got to, as they say in the Souls universe, get good. Learn his mechanics, learn his moveset, learn the environment, know what special abilities to use, what potions to pop and things like that, just to give you just that little edge to take him down. And when you finally take him down, my God, it feels so good. Oh, it was brilliant. I was cheering, jumping out of my sofa, ran up to find my wife who was elsewhere in the house, and I've just been at hand, and she's like, "Oh, that's lovely, dear," you know, it was brilliant, But yeah, a fantastic game from Software. Thoroughly recommended if you want a challenging game. It's not easy, but it's very good. Brilliant. And that, people, is it. We're bang up to date with pickups. Bit of a long video, sorry if I've rambled a little bit, and I'm sorry for a couple of the games in there were dupes from the previous video. I think there's a few in there. Hopefully it won't be as long until I do another video. I've got a good few ideas and series ideas and continuations of series for the channel. I'm not going anywhere, it's just as and when I've got the time to do them. Guys, thank you for watching. Please leave a comment down below. That's what it's all about for me, the comments, the interaction with you people. Everyone take care out there, stay safe, and I'll see you again.